Okay. Hi guys, this is Ruli01 and welcome to part 4 of what if Deku was Point Man from F.E.A.R. Last part, Deku just did the entrance exam and passed with flying colors, and today we'll be continuing with the first day of UA. Izuku was walking down the halls of UA looking for his class. He eventually arrived in the front door of Class 1A. Looking at his door, he wondered why was it so big. Izuku opened the door and walked in and saw Bakugo arguing with Ida. Izuku just ignored them and then sat at an empty desk. The girls noticed Izuku and thought he looked good. Bakugo noticed Izuku began hurling insults. Hey mute, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Izuku just ignored him, angering Bakugo again. Ida then walked up and demanded an apology from Izuku. Your behavior at the exam was rude. I want you to apologize. Izuku answered. Why should I apologize when you put your hand on me first? Ida was dumbfounded. Izuku was right, so Ida apologized and sat down. Uraka came over to say hi to Izuku, thanking him for saving her from the robot. The girl took notice and wondered if the two were dating. Uraka then said, Once again, thank you very much for saving me. Izuku, it's fine. There's no need to thank me. Aizawa then got up. You're all being too loud. It took you too long to be quiet. Everyone was shocked to see a tired-looking man get up from behind the desk in a sleeping bag. I'm your homeroom teacher, Shota Aizawa. Everyone, get one of these PE uniforms and get changed. Then meet at the practice field. Some students were asking if they were going to orientation. Izuku just got up, made his way to the locker room. Aizawa then pointed out, See, you should be more like him. You shouldn't waste time with pointless ceremonies if you want to be heroes. So hurry up or I'll expel all of you. With that, all the students made their way to the locker room. The boys walked in and saw Izuku changing. Izuku's body was well built and muscular, but his body was covered in scars from all the experiments and combat training that he endured. Kirishima then says, Whoa man, those are some gnarly scars. Very manly. Izuku just ignored the comment. He didn't like his scars. It was a painful reminder of what Armakan did to him. Kirishima sensed that Izuku didn't want to talk about it, so he just dropped it. Sorry I mentioned anything, yeah, he said nervously. Todoroki felt sympathy for Izuku, thinking he must have endured something similar to him, or even worse. Izuku started to walk away when he noticed Mineta doing something perverted. Izuku went behind Mineta and grunted. Mineta looked up to see an angry Izuku. Why are you looking at me like that? You want to peek at the girls too? Don't you try to deny it. Izuku just, in a cold voice, Do it and I'll make you regret it. Mineta heard the voice and said loud and clear, and a chill ran up his spine, and he ran out of the locker room. A little bit later, students walked onto the field. Mineta was avoiding eye contact with Izuku. Aizawa explained, Okay. You guys will be doing a quirk apprehension test. See where your quirks are at. Midoriya, since you got the highest score at the entrance exam, you go first. Aizawa tosses the ball at Izuku. Some students were surprised to hear this. Bakugo then spoke up. You're lying. There's no way the hell this mute did better than me. Aizawa brought up the source from the entrance exam on his tablet and showed it to all the class. It shows Izuku got first place in both the written and practical exam. As you can clearly see, Midoriya had the best scores, and not to mention he broke All Might's record for the practical test. This shocked everyone, and Bakugo was left speechless. If there are no more interruptions, Midoriya, throw the ball as hard as you can. Izuku nodded and got in position. He cocked back his arm and threw it as far as he could. Aizawa tried to stop Midoriya with his quirk, but nothing happened. Izuku threw the ball and it reached 500 meters. Aizawa was thinking, why didn't my quirk work out on this kid? On his record, his quirk is listed as classified. Could it be an enhancement quirk? Izuku sensed Aizawa's thoughts, but didn't do anything about it. It's better to leave. He decided to leave it alone. The rest of the test, Izuku did well. Izuku won the 100-meter dash against Ida. Using his slow-mo, he ran past him and got first place. Then when it came to the grip test, Izuku got second place to Shoju only by a couple hundred points. Wait, I forget. Well, just by a few points, I would just say that. Yeah, when it came to the grip test, Deku got second to Shoji only by a few points. The rest of the test, Izuku scored well. Aizawa was still trying to figure out Izuku's quirk during the test. After the tests were done, Aizawa showed the results. Izuku first, Momo second, Todoroki third, Bakugo fourth, and so on and so on. Bakugo then, ticked off that he lost to Izuku, goes to attack him. Before Aizawa could stop Bakugo, he was already pinned to the ground. Izuku then asked, "Do I have permission to knock this guy out?" He has a telepathy quirk, as well as an enhancement quirk? What is this kid, Aizawa thought. No, that's enough, Midoriya. You have a right to defend yourself, but don't take it too far. Stand down. Izuku nodded and stepped away from Bakugo. The class was confused why the teacher was talking to himself. Uraka then realized what's going on. I think Midoriya is talking to the teacher using his telepathy. The class looked at her with confusion. He has a telepath quirk? I could have sworn it was an enhancement, Momo said. Many of the students shared the same opinion. Ida then spoke up. No, it's true. I've been a witness to his quirk. We had a brief conversation before class started. This got more interested in Izuku, wondering if he had two quirks, especially Todoroki. Aizawa gave a warning to Baku that if he did that again, he would be expelled, and then he dismissed the class for the day. Izuku was leaving campus when he was approached by Ida and Uraka. Hey Midoriya, are you headed to the station? Let's go together. Izuku nodded and they headed to the station. Ida then chimed in. I'm quite impressed with you, Midoriya. You are very skilled with your quirk. No wonder you got the highest scores in the entrance exam. And again, I apologize for my behavior back then. Izuku just responded. It's okay. I'm over it. Apology accepted. They boarded the train and then ride in silence for a few minutes. Then Uraka asked, Midoriya, why don't you talk with your voice? This caused Izuku to tense up, remembering a little bit of the experiments. He clenched his fists and started shaking. Uraka and Ida noticed this. I don't like to talk about it. They understood that Izuku didn't want to talk about it, so they just dropped the subject. Back in UA, Aizawa was in the staff room going over the class results, focusing attention on Izuku. All Might came up in a small form and checked on what Aizawa was doing. Saw Aizawa was looking through Izuku's file. He's quite interesting, isn't he? Aizawa looked up. Yeah, he's quite interesting. He's an excellent student with a lot of potential. There's something about him that bothers me. All Might. And what's got you worried, Aizawa? Aizawa turned to face All Might. I couldn't stop his quirk, and I think he has more than one quirk. But his file has his quirk listed as classified. It makes no sense. Who is this kid? The two pros were puzzled by the mystery in front of them. The door then opened, and Nezu walked in. Nezu then spoke up. It seems you have questions about young Midoriya, and I think it's time I let you know. But remember, this is classified information. No one else is to find out. I'm only telling you, Aizawa, because you're his teacher, and All Might because you're considering him to be your successor. The two agreed to keep this a secret. Nezu then revealed all the information he had on Midoriya, from him being a test subject for Armor Cam, the fact that the government kept quiet that he survived the Armor Cam incident years ago, and that he was adopted by two former F.E.A.R team members. Nezu revealed all of Izuku's abilities and explained that were not a quirk. They were psionic abilities, not related to the quirk gene. The two teachers were in complete disbelief of what they heard, but it coming from Nezu, they couldn't deny it. Things were going to get interesting from here on out. Another day in class, students were excited about what they were going to learn. Some students crowded around Izuku, asking him loads of questions about his quirk, and he was getting visibly upset. Uraka and Ito tried to get the other students to back off a little, explained that they were setting Izuku. Suyu apologized. Sorry about that, Midoriya. We just want to know about your quirk, Ribbit. Izuku just calmly answered. It's fine. It's just I have a hard time people crowding me, and hearing all your thoughts and emotions, it's a little overwhelming. Everyone in the class heard the voice in their head. Denki then spoke up. So wait a minute, you're saying you could read our minds? Izuku explained he can only read surface thoughts and emotions, but if he truly focused on a single person, he could read their mind. Kirishima, then how are you so strong and fast? Do you have a second quirk? This got the attention of Todoroki, who wanted to hear the answer. Izuku stood quiet for a little bit, then he answered. Using my telepathic abilities, I'm able to enhance my physical abilities, but it requires a lot of concentration. Everyone accepts Izuku's answer, but Todoroki was a little suspicious of Izuku. Momo then spoke up. That's amazing, Midori. You have very good control of your quirk from what we saw in the exams. Many of the students began to agree with what she said. All Might then came into the room. I am here, coming into the room like a hero. The class had decided that the number one hero was going to be Teacher Den today. All Might then spoke. Today we'll be doing battle training. This got the students pumped up. Especially Bakugo, who couldn't wait to get his chance to fight. But before that, you'll have to change into your hero costumes. All Might pressed the button, and cases came out of the wall, each with the student's seat number. The class went to the locker rooms and got dressed and met at outside Field Gamma. Izuku was wearing F.E.A.R Team D12 heavy armor, modified to be stronger and lighter, with red goggles, which have a hood and different types of vision, from night vision to thermal. Izuku was equipped with the M14 rifle, an M17 pistol, a couple grenades, a combat knife, and both his guns use rubber bullets, but he does have regular ammo if he needs to use it. Everyone was both impressed and intimidated when Deku came out. Uraka walked up to Izuku. Wow, Izuku, you look so cool. Yeah, thank you. I like your costume too. You look nice. The praise made Uraka blush. All Might then explained the rules of the battle training. Then the students drew lots, and the teams would be the same as Ken. First would be the heroes, Izuku and Uraka, versus the villains, Bakugo and Ida. Both teams went to prepare, and Izuku was trying to come up with a plan with Uraka. I have a plan. Do you trust me? Uraka said yes, and Izuku explained the plan to her, and she was amazed how well thought out it was. The test began, and the two heroes made their way into the building. Izuku and Uraka did not speak, but communicated using his telepathy. They walked down the halls for a little bit, then they hear Bakugo blowing his way through the walls. So Izuku and Uraka initiated the plan. Uraka makes herself weightless and stays up in the ceiling with her eyes closed. As soon as Bakugo ran around the corner, Izuku threw something at him, hitting him directly in the face. Damn, you coward! How dare you throw something at me? He looked down and was shocked to see it was a flash grenade. The grenade went off, blinding Bakugo. He covered his eyes and began cursing at Deku. Uraka, then hearing the bang, that was her signal, she dropped behind Bakugo and then wrapped the capture tape around him. Over the intercom, All Might said that announced that Bakugo was eliminated. The heroes began to make their way to the staircase. Bakugo regained his vision and was so infuriated at what happened, he brought up both his gauntlets. Die, you mute bastard! All Might tried to tell Bakugo to stop, but it was too late. He already pulled the pins and began to fire. Izuku reacted fast enough, pushed Uraka out of the way, getting him in the shoulder. Deku then brought off his rifle and shot Bakugo in the head, knocking him out. Uraka tried to get Izuku's attention. He looked down at her as she was blushing. Her face was completely red. Was trying to figure out why she was so embarrassed. Then he realized he was on top of her, and his hand was on top of her. He also began to blush and quickly got off and apologized to her and helped her up. Uraka told Deku that it was okay, it was an accident, but they were both looking away from each other, embarrassed. Deku checked his wounds. He was injured in a part of his shoulder. He was bleeding, but slowly started to regenerate after a few seconds. Then the wound closed, but his shoulder had a piece missing of his armor, but it could easily be repaired later. Students were surprised. Momo then said, "Thank goodness Midori reacted to her." Kirishima then said, "That was so manly." And then Mina would say, "But he's hurt. Can he continue?" Suyu then noticed, "He's healing. Maybe his quirk allows him to heal himself?" Todoroki was convinced even more that Izuku had another quirk after witnessing that. Izuku then turns to Uraka. "Are you ready to continue?" A little bit, still embarrassed about what happened. Uraka nodded, and after regaining her composure, she followed him up the stairs. Going upstairs, Izuku felt something was wrong. The lights suddenly started to flicker, and the cameras were not working. A shadowy figure was standing at the top of the stairs. It was Alma in her hag form. Uraka felt scared, and she stood behind Izuku as Izuku brought up his rifle. Alma slowly approached the two while whispering things in their minds. As she was about to reach him, Alma stops a few feet in front of them. She then screams, "Find me!" and then disappears. Everything then goes back to normal. All Might and the rest of the students were worried since they couldn't see what was happening. All Might asked if the students wanted to continue the tests, and both teams agreed. Izuku was too shaken about what happened that he decided to finish this quickly. Once they made it to the floor where the bomb was, he kicked down the door, threw a flashbang into the room. As Ito was blinded, he used slow-mo and touched the bomb. Hero team wins, All Might announced, and then the class gathers to discuss the result. Bakugo got scolded for doing such a stupid thing, endangering the lives of his fellow classmates. Izuku got the most praise for his quick thinking and cunning strategy, not to mention saving Uraka and giving him the title of MVP. The other students prepared for their turn. Uraka wanted to talk to Izuku about what happened in the stairwell, so they went to the side. Once they were away from the rest of the class, Izuku explained to Uraka that ever since he was a kid, he was having visions, how sometimes they evolved the girl, his old friend, or a monster. But Izuku was confused how she could see them. Even growing up when he was with his parents and had the visions, it only affected him and no one else. After thinking about it, Uraka asked, "Was it because we were linked?" Izuku then thinks about it and believes that's the only plausible explanation. His mental link with her so they could communicate might have been the cause. Izuku asked Uraka if she could keep this a secret from the others, because if anyone else find out, he might have to leave UA. Her heart ached a little bit, and she didn't know why. But Uraka agreed to keep a secret. After class was over, the students went home. Izuku rode on the train with Uraka and Ida and made it home. Izuku explained to his parents what happened at school and began to worry. Sashi then said, "This is getting worse. And not only have the visions get stronger, but now another person's seen them." Inko then asked, "Izuku, is this girl Uraka? Are you sure she can be trusted?" Izuku nodded. "Okay, if you trust her, then it's fine. But we would like to meet her. Could you invite her over?" Izuku agreed to invite her over the next time he had a chance. As Izuku went to bed, he was wondering why this was happening, and that is his normal life he tried so hard to achieve coming to an end. Well, thank you guys. That's it for part 4 of Appointment Deku. Hopefully I could get more of these videos out here by the end of New Year's and Christmas. And like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.